All right, so in this video, we're going to be talking about how Napoleon can help you scale your SMMA. And if you don't know who Napoleon is, he is what most would say is like the greatest war general or war leader of all time. I mean, he did some amazing and crazy stuff just in terms of like battle, battle philosophy and being able to, I mean, have an army attacking you and then turn that army to work with you, right? Like he was really good at cultivating belief and things like that. So what I want to do in this video is I want to talk about how he can help you scale your SMMA because the principles that he used to fight all these European powers are the same principles that you can use to scale your SMMA. And the principles he used in war, in fighting, are principles you can use in your SMMA. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is he was really well known for attacking while defending. Right. So if you've ever seen it, I don't know how to explain it. I would need like a graphic explainer, and I could have been on my laptop for this video, but I didn't think I would need this. But what he used to do is he used to attack, and the men he was attacking with would be formed in a like a square, let's say, right? And everyone inside the square was attacking, but like around the square, there were defending and shielding arrows and things coming in. So one thing that he was really good at was like it was like he was doing both things at the same time. So he was defending his men while he was attacking another squadron or another group of people. Okay, and I think it's an amazing thing because a lot of other war generals or a lot of other people at the time, they would just tell your men go, right, like attack, and they're not defending their men, so therefore they're accomplishing that one goal of attacking, but they're not accomplishing the goal of defending those men in their lives while attacking, right? And I forgot what specific war he did this in very well, but I remember at the end of the war, I mean, when they were counting heads, like he only lost a couple of people, right? Like, and the other army, practically got demolished. And he was really well known for that too, barely losing any soldiers in a fight while the other army, lost tons. So, but the whole idea of this and applying it to your SMMA is when you're in a process of scaling, don't go 100% like I'm just sales and marketing. Like don't let that be your company culture like, oh, I'm just sales and marketing. You know what I'm saying? Because you always need to focus on product development. Like you have to be able to do both at the same time and do it well. The same way Napoleon was able to do both in terms of attacking and defending his troops while they were advancing on another group of soldiers, right? So like don't get caught up in doing one thing or hey, I'm just focused on product development right now, right? So you're just defending, you're just kind of staying at base type thing, or defending your soldiers in this scenario. No, you want to do both. You want to defend the soldiers. You also want to focus on sales and marketing, get that going too, right? So there's this duality of running a business. It's not even a duality. Like there's more than two things in this, right? But there's this, focus where you don't want it to get caught up in one thing or another, especially when you're the founder, especially when your group or your team is small and you're really heading all the projects. You have to make sure that your attention is spread throughout the multiple things that you have to get done in terms of product development, sales and marketing, and stuff like that. You have to be able to do all of those aggressively at the same time. Now, there's seasons where you'll be focused on one thing more than another, of course, but I'm just saying in terms of a long run thing. Because I saw this in my SMMA when I was just solely focused on sales and marketing. I would go like 3 months. Yeah, you get a couple new clients, but I'm like, man, the product or the service I'm selling hasn't gotten any better in the last 3 months. Jeez, like I got to work on that. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just become focused on that one aspect, down the line. So the next thing is mitigating damage, right? And this was something I kind of hinted to a little bit earlier, how he was really well known for going through a battle, winning the battle, and barely losing any soldiers, right? There's tons of other, generals that were around at the time that they would win battles too, but they would lose a heavy amount of soldiers to win that battle. He was known, especially in several of his battles, barely lose any soldiers, right? Like to really mitigate damage. And that was a part of the attacking while defending strategy, I'm guessing. But that's a really big thing that we could apply to business is just like mitigate damage, right? The opportunity cost that you deal with when you're doing something, just mitigate it. You have to look at all of that. Look at the downsides. Look at where you're wasting your time, right? Um, and it simply says like simply said, let's say you're doing outbound. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're spending your 3 hours doing the outbound yourself, it doesn't seem like this. but you're preventing yourself from scaling. There's damage in that, right? And you can hire a team member, especially if you've got a couple clients on, to not only keep doing the outbound, but 10x the outbound, but maybe you have a smaller time slot. You know what I'm saying? Or something that a lot of agency owners are facing is like they'll go through a phase of booking a lot of calls, and then they'll be taking all these calls so they don't book any more calls, right? So you always have to be looking to mitigate damage. Where am I wasting my time? Because right now, at this point, most agency owners who are starting out or they're just running like a small size business, um, the business is just a reflection of their personal life and the way that they're running things. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that when you look at your business, you're mitigating every single area. I mean, where's time spent, where's time lost, what softwares am I paying for that I really don't need, right? Because that's another thing, spending tons on software that you're not using, just different things like that that you can focus on to mitigate damage, so that hey, at the end of the day, I'm being efficient and I'm accomplishing both things in terms of scaling and product development and stuff like that, right? So, all right, so I hope this video was helpful. You can click the first link in the description to get my free course, and the second link will be my free group, The Collective, where, I'm providing tons of valuable information. So click those links, check those out. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Peace.